Alright, let's dive into something that's been stirring up a lot of debate lately, a proposed 28-mile natural gas pipeline in Chatham County, North Carolina. But here's the thing, this isn't just another infrastructure project. It's a story about land, legacy, and the clash between progress and preservation. So, let's break it down. First off, what's the deal with this pipeline? Enbridge Gas, the company behind it, claims it's necessary to meet the growing demand in Chatham and Lee counties. And the numbers back them up, a 2.7% customer growth rate isn't something to sneeze at. But here's where it gets interesting, this isn't just about delivering gas. It's about the ripple effects of such a project. Personally, I think what makes this really fascinating is how it's pitting economic development against environmental and personal concerns. It's a classic case of progress at what cost? Now, let's talk about the landowners. Many of these folks have been on their land for generations. Their families have farmed, built, and lived off this soil for decades, if not centuries. So, when a pipeline threatens to cut through their property, it's not just about the land, it's about their heritage. One thing that immediately stands out is the fear of property devaluation. If you take a step back and think about it, these landowners aren't just worried about money, they're worried about losing a piece of their identity. And let's not forget the environmental risks. A gas leak could contaminate local water supplies, and that's a nightmare scenario for anyone who relies on that water for their livelihood. What many people don't realize is the complexity of the easements and restrictions that come with a pipeline. Landowners are concerned about how this project could limit their ability to use their land in the future. Can they still farm? Can they develop? These are questions that Enbridge hasn't fully answered, and that lack of transparency is fueling a lot of the pushback. In my opinion, this is where the company is dropping the ball. If you're going to ask people to give up part of their land, you owe them clear, honest communication. Then there's the environmental angle. Wetlands, streams, trees, and endangered species, all of these could be impacted by the pipeline. Environmental groups are sounding the alarm, and rightfully so. But here's the broader perspective, this isn't just about Chatham County. It's part of a larger trend of infrastructure projects clashing with environmental conservation. What this really suggests is that we need a more balanced approach to development, one that doesn't sacrifice the environment for economic growth. What makes this really interesting is the timing. With construction potentially starting as early as fall 2027, the clock is ticking. Enbridge says they're gathering feedback, but are they really listening? Or is this just a box-ticking exercise? Personally, I think the company needs to do more than just hear the concerns, they need to address them head-on. Otherwise, this project could become a case study in how not to handle community relations. If you take a step back and think about it, this pipeline is more than just a pipe in the ground. It's a symbol of the tensions between tradition and modernity, between local interests and corporate priorities. And that's what makes it such a compelling story. It raises a deeper question, how do we balance progress with preservation? How do we ensure that development doesn't come at the expense of the people and places it's meant to serve? So, here's my closing thought, this pipeline isn't just about gas. It's about values. It's about what we prioritize as a society. And as we watch this story unfold, I think it's worth asking ourselves, what kind of legacy do we want to leave behind? Is it one of unchecked development, or one of thoughtful, sustainable progress? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Because this isn't just Chatham County's problem, it's a question for all of us.